there's a tension now, and we're trying to find the balance. And I'm not sure those of us who are the first users of a technology actually are the right people to try to figure out the balance. I think it's actually the next generations that are starting to. Okay. We see that in privacy, for instance, which is where I spend a lot of my time. Older people are worse about their settings. They're worse about sharing information. They're worse about privacy when you actually look at the data than younger generation.
Because they don't care? Why are they worse?
I think that they don't understand the technology as well. They don't know how to use the devices as well. But I also think that they haven't associated the idea that the device is actually spying on you all the time in the way that younger people have. So you see the Pew studies or some of these other studies will show that the younger people are much more adept at using the privacy settings, and they choose to use them more.
Are they, as a cohort, more private? Can you break it down generationally that way?
I think that the sense I have, and I'm not a social scientist, I'm a lawyer and an advocate, but the sense I get is that sometimes we have confused privacy with secrecy. I think privacy is more about control and less about what you reveal. So I think we have a generation well, the first generation of users were big oversharers, but from my perspective, or lots of sharing, right? But that was still something you wanted to control. You chose to show more about what was going on in your life. I don't think people ever wanted to give up the idea that it was their decision how much to share. That, to me, is where privacy comes in. Now we see the next generation of kids, they're not, the use of Facebook, for instance, is down. The use of things like Snapchat that gets rid of things is higher. Use of things like Instagram. Much less, I think, of the kind of idea that kids today don't care about privacy. The data does not bear that out, and I think as they're getting used to using these technologies, they're also getting used to gaining a little more control over how the technology is, what the technology is doing.